But as I said, we've had previous complaints on Escambia County, so I wanted to just get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this actually isn't my first experience having a problem with them. I have filed a complaint myself with the county and had one of their PR reps call me back and all this stuff, but it didn't go anywhere, and I didn't know about your service at the time.
Well, we're happy to assist. Let me briefly tell you what we can do for you. We have a free service, which is what you're under right now. I'm going to briefly take an interview from you to get all the required information. We'll be contacting the police department on Tuesday, advising them of the report that you supplied to us and directing them to listen to your recorded statement.
Okay.
Okay? So why don't you start just by giving me your name and name the department and the officer, and then just tell me what happened.
Okay, my name is Justin Alanacoba. It's the Escambia County Sheriff's Department, officer number 447, Deputy McLemore was his name. And I also spoke with his sergeant when I initially made a complaint at the sheriff's office, and his name was Sergeant Price. What had happened was I get off late from work, pretty late, about 11:30. It was actually my son's birthday, so I stopped at Walmart, picked up some birthday presents, and was on my way home. About 12:30, I'm about 200 yards from my house, and I get stopped. Okay, no big deal. I get pulled over. He comes up to my window. I say, is there a problem, officer? He said, yeah, you got a tag light out. I said, okay, do you mind if I take a look? Because it was fine before. And I know because I checked it. It's my wife's car, so I try to keep it in pretty good shape. So he said, not on my watch, don't get out of your damn car. I said, okay, no problem, I understand. Sometimes people are crazy, they run, they pull guns, whatever. So I stayed in my car. He had me sitting there for a while. He took my ID. He went to his car and I guess did the background check or whatever. He comes back up to my car and he starts questioning me about my past record. Now, I have been in trouble before. I am a convicted felon. I've been out of jail since I actually got out of jail on September 11th, 01, about an hour after they hit the towers, and I haven't been back since. I got a degree. I got 5 kids. I got married. I got my rights back. I haven't had a problem with the law since then, and then this officer starts harassing me about it. He wants to search my car. I tell him, I thought this was just a traffic stop. What do you need to search my car for? And then he starts getting more hostile. He says, fine, just wait, just sit right here and I'll call a dog. I said, okay, fine, whatever. He has me sitting there for about 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, I don't know. It's almost 1 o'clock by the time I get out of there. And apparently they didn't have a dog. So he writes me a $116 ticket. And at that point, I just want to go home. So I say, okay, and I leave. Well, when I pull into my driveway, I get out of the car, and I look at my tag light, and it's not out. The tag light is on. So I immediately call 411 and get the number for the sheriff's office, the non-emergency number. I called. I got a girl named Jeanette. I told her the situation. She said she would contact Sergeant Price, and he would call me right back. I told her, it's weird. I want to make sure that you guys don't think I'm lying. If you got a sergeant in the area, have him come to look. I mean, I just got pulled over 2 minutes ago. I want you guys to know, that this is wrong. Well, I get a call probably the next day about 7:30 from the sergeant. And he's a pretty reasonable guy. He was pretty nice. He listened to my story. He gave me some feedback. We talked and we talked. There wasn't any real resolution. There was a couple of things that he said that bothered me. He said that the officers are trained to respond that way. And I said, well, that's not really smart. If you treat everybody like a criminal, then everybody's going to be a criminal. And then he told me there's nothing he can do about the ticket. It was the officer's discretion. Blah, blah, blah. Just no resolution. He said that he would verbally reprimand him. And I said, I really don't think that's enough. I'd like this to go in his file so that he can receive, they know he needs some kind of training before he can work with the public or whatever. So that was it, pretty much the conversation there with the sergeant. It took about 15 minutes, and then that was it. I didn't get a complaint. I was still kind of upset. You know, at this point, you know, for me, $120, you know, that's a pretty big deal when you got 5 kids.
I totally understand. Let me just ask you a few questions. Was there any crime that you're aware of that took place in the area that would require him to be so intent on searching your car and going through all the things that he was trying to do?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Did you do anything?
There haven't been like a rash of burglaries or anything like that, anything crazy like that, no.
Okay. And did you do anything to raise his suspicion? Did you not cooperate? Did you jump out of the car? Did you do anything that would cause him alarm?
No.
Okay.
I would never jump out of the car. I'd get shot that way.
Okay.
I have dealt, like I said, and you know as well, Escambia County Sheriff's Department has a long history of corruption. Last year they got the corrupt sheriff out and they got a new guy in. Still not much has changed, but he's only been in there for a year. But I knew how the sheriff's office works, and I know better than to be disrespectful to one of those guys because I'll just end up paying for it myself, you know? So I made sure, yes sir, no sir, what can I do for you? You know, nothing to cause suspicion until he started questioning me about my background. And I'm like, you know, that was a long time ago, that was 9 years ago, I've been in trouble, you know, why would you want to search my car? You know?
Well, let me ask you a question about the taillight real briefly. So you're saying that less than a few minutes, what, 5 or 10 minutes after he stopped you, you made it into your driveway and you took a look and the light was actually working?
Yes, less than that. It was a tag light. I mean, he stopped me 200 yards from my house. So, I mean, I was about to turn onto my street and into my driveway. It was less than a minute after he let me go. You know, and I thought that he would follow me. So I stood in the street so I could try and wave him down, you know, hey, come look. You gave me a ticket for no reason. What's going on? And I asked Sergeant Price as well if they had the video monitoring in his vehicle. And of course, he said no.
Okay, let me make a suggestion to you, okay? You can put in what's called a Freedom of Information Act request with Escambia County, and you can request the copy of the phone call that you made to the police. Okay? Get a copy of that recording. That will verify that you called immediately and reported that the light was not dysfunctional, that it was actually working.
Right, and I do have another question as well. Some cars, on their tag lights, they have one light. On my car, there are 2 lights, and one of them was out. But the other one was on and illuminating the tag light. So is that still a ticketable offense?
No. As long as you had lighting over the plate, he has no grounds to call you out on that. You can have.
Well, then the sergeant then lied to me as well because I asked him the same question. He said, "Oh, well, if one of them's out, then it's a good thing."
That's completely nonsense. That's nonsense. If there's a light, because what does that mean? There's no Florida state requirement for motor vehicles that they have more than one light or less than one light. The thing is that you have to have a light. A light.
Right.
A light can be. It might be the light is dim. If he could say that he couldn't see the light, that'd be one thing. But he's saying that the light was not working and it was, and the light was enough to. Was the light? Okay, and the light was enough to illuminate the plate, correct?
Yes, and I did take pictures as well of my car in the driveway, you know, minutes after I got pulled over. As soon as I seen it, and I got off the phone with them and I was waiting for the sergeant to call me back, I took pictures of my car with the tag light on.
Okay.
I mean, the pictures in my phone are date and time stamped, so it's not like I went out and bought a new light and changed it and took a picture or anything like that.
Well, do me a favor. I'm going to give you an email address. If you can email me a copy of those photographs, I will attach that to your complaint. If the police want that as evidence, I will supply that to them. But I think that's good, solid evidence.
Okay, and the other thing was, from my previous complaint, like I said, I didn't know about your service, and actually when I signed up for it, I kind of thought it might have been bogus because you were asking for money for the paid service. I didn't know if it was real. I didn't know if, it would be actually something that would give results. Like I said, I've had to file a complaint before, and it went absolutely nowhere. And I tried to do it myself, go down there and explain, and It's just not something that they want to